Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How are you guys doing today? I'm going to get over here to get onto Facebook and pop that open real quick, like, so I can see your guys' comments. I had working doing really well last night, so we're going to see if we can't do that again today. For sure. So let me try to click on this guy. And it says me. Okay. And then we're going to take the guy and put it in the corner screen. He's going in the corner. Not because it's bad, but because I need to see some things. I need to see something. And then we're going to pull up the comments. There we go. That's what I need. It sounds like my son is straight up awake already. I lost my headphones like 2 times already today in the last hour. It's very embarrassing. Anyway, so yeah, I have it all pulled up now, I think, so I can let me do a little more centered in my little thing. Anyway, oh right, and let me I have to hold on, I gotta mute myself on this side. So that way, and then I push it back over to this side. And then there we go. I need to get rid of this pane. Hold on. I was messaging like crazy today, asking people for their free votes. By the way, don't forget to vote if you're just showing up. And I will share. Hold on, let me. I'll share the link real quick. Hold on, let me reload this page. You do have to reload the page every time you do it. So if you guys would like to go vote, here's my voting link. And Shanker, I appreciate you. Okay, and there we go. Now, how do I comment? I know. Hold on. I gotta move this up. I think there it is. All right, and then over here, paste. Okay. Alrighty, and that is my voting. So now everybody has it. So just click it. If you'd like to vote for me, please click it. I have emailed everybody, so I hope that you don't mind that you're getting emails or Facebook messages from me, because I do reach out and stuff. So it is very, very interesting, because I have me on one side of the screen, and I have me on there's 2 of me's. I'm looking at 2 of me's like this, and one's a little bit behind. So I'm like really trying not to. Yeah, let me see. Maybe I could just cover this up so it doesn't add out. There we go. Now I don't care what it looks like. I just covered it so that way I can only see the comments, which is fine for me. I got my coffee. Today is my second drink. I decided I wasn't going to work out today. I just kind of taking care of myself, but I do feel like a little sore, so I might change my mind and work out anyway. But I don't know. I worked out yesterday and my shoulder's a little sore. And in yoga, everything is shoulder. Everything. It doesn't matter what you do. So I'm thinking I might need a little break. Probably do a stretching. Just go out there and stretch a little bit. But not really work out. Just stretch, but that is equally as beneficial. Stretching is because it makes you feel better. It makes your body feel better. You know what I'm saying? So, I know 7:59 is kind of early for everybody, huh? All right, let's get a question of the day going, guys. All right. Ooh, I'm excited. Oh, and I have an excellent idea for a book project, or for a project out of this book that I'm going to be reading, because I've been to a lot of those places that it references in the book. So I'm really excited about that. Okay. Oh, this is a good question. Okay. I can blank if I set my mind to it. I can blank if I set my mind to it. And let me put it up for everybody to see. Okay, 1 second. Lift this window up. Okay. I can, if I set my mind to it. And I'm putting it as an exclamation part. I don't know if the book did or not, but I'm doing it. And show. I can blank. Now, I don't like, it's in my way, but I don't know if it's in your guys' way. But the timer and things are in my way. Anyway, so I can blank if I set my mind to it. And now, a lot of people growing up, like for me, like would be like, you can do anything if you set your mind to it. You can do da 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 if you set your mind to it, right? And I've always kind of thought to myself, I switch now. I'm cold. It's hot, cold, hot, cold. Business is too much for me. Like parents will be like, you can do anything if you set your mind to it. But that's not true, because people have limitations and things like that. So not everybody can do all things. That is unrealistic. And that might be my autism talking for real, because it very well might be my autism talking to me right now, because of that. Oh gosh darn, I can't get my windows to do what I want. Do what I want, window. Put the comments back up. Because I know there are things in life that, well, do I really know that there are things in this life that I can't do? Like, okay, I can't have a baby. Like, that is not, I can't have more kids. Menopause, I don't make any more, I can't do that. So that is something that I am not capable of doing. So there are things in life like that, right? Where that you're not capable, you have no control over. You have no control over other people. So you can't change what they think. You can't change what they believe. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like there are realistic rationalizations in the world, you know what I'm saying? To the things that you can accomplish, that you can do, that you can realistically build yourself up to a point, right? Like, to a point. Everybody has some sort of limitation, though. You can't go out into the world and be like, I can do anything. Absolutely, you can do what it is that you're passionate about, because 9 times out of 10, if you're honestly passionate about it, then that will sustain your motivation. If it's something that like you just couldn't let go of, you just couldn't, whatever. But still, but also, I really want to get rid of, oh crap, I just totally kicked you. Sorry, guys. It's like, I'm not trying to abuse you guys. I swear. I promise. Okay. I swear. Okay. Anyway, so to bring you closer to me. Um, See, in bringing you closer to me, I totally, completely forgot what I was gonna say. Anyway, um, there it is. Thanks, Spirit. Um, I want to assure you. I forgot it again. Apparently, I want to assure you of nothing. Oh, yes. Limitations are not a bad thing. I look at limitations not as always as something to knock down or a bad thing, right? They're like your guardrails of life. And like anything else, guardrails can get pushed and they can grow and they can narrow. Like if you want to get better at something, you make it a little bit more narrow and put more effort there. If you want to just kind of broaden your horizons and get like, open up your pathways, which is what I like to do. Do more stuff that's opening to you, live more in the moment. I feel like people say it and they don't often let you know what that means, right? Like people are like, live in the moment, be present, just for today. Though all those things are extremely simple and also the most difficult things I've ever accomplished in my life. Letting go. I mean, I'm like a freaking dog with a bone sometimes when I really feel like I have a point, or if it just keeps like, obsessively running around in my mind. Now, I can definitely resonate with the fact that I do obsess about things in my mind, right? So like, oh crap, I'm gonna unplug you guys so I can move you where I want you to be. So like I grew up really wholeheartedly believing that limitations were bad, that if I couldn't do something, I was a failure, right? I mean, right? Like, that's a society that we live in. It isn't like, oh, you can't do this. If you work harder at it, you will get there. It's like, oh, you can't do this, so you just can't do it. That's it. You can't, you know what I mean? And then we just resonate and we let that sink in and worm its way and burrow into us like it's the truth, that like it's always been there. And it isn't always been there. It hasn't always been there. It is not always the truth. I verifiably yesterday did like 3 things right before I did those things, told myself I couldn't do. Let me say that one more time, because it's a little hard for me to kind of wrap my brain around it. Okay, hold on. Yesterday, I did 3 things that right before I did those 3 things, I had mentally told myself I couldn't do it. And then right in the next step, I did it. I do that a lot. I automatically, it's like if something's frustrating me, if something's new, it's like, I can't. It's been my go-to verbiage. And I remember one of the best sponsors I ever had in recovery told me and reminded me, and I'm reminding myself right now again, that to add the word yet, right? Like, so if you're like, I can't yet, I should, but I should doesn't really work. I should yet, no. But like, I don't have that yet. I don't have a degree yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like when we get into the negativity of the, beating ourselves up, it is extremely helpful to, in fact, just say, yeah, just be like, well, or I yet know how to do that. That is also a good one. You'll just be like, I have yet to try that. I have yet to do that. I have yet to consider that. All those things are so good as instant responses, as anchor responses, is what I've heard them called, somewhat called. I call them anchor responses. It's like, but they're anchors, and you can make an anchor for peace, but we also make an anchor for insanity and chaos, right? Like, usually that anchor is what causes the generational trauma loop that we then continue to live in, because it makes us feel better, because we don't want to be out there in the world by ourselves. We don't want to feel like we're out there in the world by ourselves. Right now, not that Shawnee would ever do this, but if Shawnee woke up, he might do it. Who knows? You never know. You never know with this man. And if you know Shawnee, you know what I'm talking about. That one day he might wake up and choose, like, I can't do this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done abusing myself by living with you, because it's continually breaking my heart that we can't do something. Like something like that sounds very specific, but it's a general example. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's how I felt the first time we tried to split up, and then he got a girlfriend. And I was just trying to resonate with the fact that somebody didn't want to be with me, that somebody had deemed being with me as hell, toxic, deteriorating, demoralizing, destructive, demeaning, all the things, And because I was like, it was much like they tell you when you do CPR that if you go to save somebody who's drowning and they are too frantic, they will try to drown you, even though you're trying to save them, because they cannot rationally comprehend that you're trying to save them. So they will drown you while you're trying to save them. And that's how I felt for a long time. I've had bouts and time frames of life where I did not feel that way. And most of all of them were when I was in and within a recovery community. So I am so grateful for all the recovery communities out there in this world, because I've been to like 7 of them. I frequent many of them. I frequent whatever fits that day for me. And usually it's Recovery Dharma, because I really love Recovery Dharma. And it's just like a safe space that you can go to and kind of have your own path, and your own path recovery is respected. I have a few other places. I have a recovery program that I go to that talks about the therapeutic psychedelic use and processing those things in your mind. So it's like a support group it's not like a support group, but it's like that, it's a recovery program. They're trying to build it into a recovery program, and it's called Psychedelics and Recovery. And it's for people, that have such massive trauma that they have to use psilocybin and therapy combined to get over them, which is what I had to do. Because my life had sustained so much trauma from the time I was born that there was a huge part of me that couldn't even, well, you guys have seen me. You've watched me. You see the differences. I know they're there, so anybody who sees me or like follow me for a month or two, you'll notice them too. Like, I just kind of evolve, perpetually evolving, because I really like to resonate in the fact that I don't know everything, because if I don't resonate in the fact that I don't know everything, then I think I do know everything. And that's a catch-22 too. I woke up with a lot of arthritis in my hands and I can barely bend this knuckle, but it's because I jabbed it yesterday. I hit it and I bent it like sideways. So I went like that with it across the tip of something. And oh my God, it hurt so bad, you guys. It was so bad. It like, and it's still, and I kind of like, and now it's swollen a little, which is another reason why I'm not doing yoga today. Or giving my arm and hands a break. Now, granted, tomorrow I'll be doing yoga and I'll just be basing all my weight on the palm of my hand here, right here, instead of my fingertip or this fingertip. And I will be essentially putting pressure like this, but like on the palm of my hand, and then using my tips to stabilize, not hold up. It's a very important part of when you work out, doing any floor movement. If you're putting so much weight that your fingertip goes white, if you look down and your fingertip is white, that's too much pressure for your finger. That's too much. You're on your hands, you're on your tips too much. You got to get back onto the base of your hand right here, typically right there in that section right there. That's why it's padded. It's not really, because that's how we were created. It was to do yoga, duh. But it would seem that way. They're like built-in pads right there, and so most of your weight goes right there. And if you do it that way, it aligns all the way up to your shoulder, and then you don't hurt yourself, But anyway, it's really cool. I learned about something. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and we were talking, recovery service. I'm going to just do his meeting for him. So, I'm going to do his meeting. It is it is a psychedelics and recovery meeting. So, if you have not used those for trauma, then you might not be interested. But yeah, there's so many. Oh gosh. And if you're in the Northern California area, there's, I'm not going to delve out, great places and centers, just because of the nature of it. But if you Google it, look it up, and, there's a lot of places, a lot of therapies in San Francisco, Oakland. I mean, it's like kind of the mecca for that kind of lifestyle, which is great because I feel like this poor little town and this, San Francisco, from San Francisco to Oakland and all the in between, you know what I mean? I feel like as a land, this land has sustained so much trauma. All of our lands have sustained so much trauma. I mean, what would you think if land, because land has memory. I feel like land has memory. I feel like the only thing that is really considered dead is the man-made thing, whatever that is, like the car, this, obviously. But I mean, even everything soaks up energy, at the same time too. So it is what it is. Anyway. Yeah, and for those of you that want to judge me because I had just recently said psychedelics and recovery and all that in the same sentence, save it. I'm not interested because you didn't live my life. You didn't have a biological mom and dad that unalived a child. You didn't have to come to that conclusion, that exception in your mind, and somehow be forced to love them anyway because they're family. So great. So great. No, I don't. I don't care if you came out of me, are related to me, watched me grow up, if you disrespect me and don't respect my opinion about what I want to do with my life and how I feel is appropriate to feel, please leave my pages right now. I know there's probably going to be a drop off and it's going to hurt because it's not going to be the people I thought it was going to be. It's going to be all the people that I didn't think it was going to be. And that's what's going to hurt. And that's okay. Because, get it out. Clean it out. If you don't like what I bring to the table, then get out of my table. Don't sit there. Find a different table. Right? If you don't like what I bring to my table, don't eat at it. I do what's best for me. I do what's best for my mental health, for my family's mental health. I'm trying to find pathways, and I'm finding successful pathways and a successful life that I didn't even know was out there that I get to traverse with my kids who also received enough generational trauma in their life to fill Noah's Ark. I get to teach them how to do it. I get to show them there is a way to move past the trauma that you thought was going to suffocate you and control you for the rest of your life. I get to share the herbs and the spices and the recipes and the coffees and all the things that I do and the beef organ supplements, all the things that I do, and the magnesium that I just started taking. And I need to find out what kind of, I learned yesterday there was a calcium. Basically, if you have degenerative disc disease, there's a calcium that you could take that will help your body regenerate your disc and things like that. So I'm going to look into it. It's all natural. I'm going to try it. That's what I love about all natural medicine. It's because you can. It's like, oh, well, it's all natural. Now, there are some natural remedies that even, like if you're on certain prescription medications, you can't take. So be mindful of those. Always make sure what you're putting into your body works together to support you. Because if you start putting just random everythings into your body, it might seem like I do that, but I don't do that. I put a lot of months of research into it. I get reviews. I watch people that do it. And I take the leap probably sooner than most because I want to provide a platform for you guys to watch me try things and see how they work. Is it always the best? No. Does it always work? No. But if you see me continually buy it, then it's working. Like I just bought my second bag of Everyday Dose. I'm on my third bag of Primal Queen. I ordered my fourth bag of my Reishi mushroom gummies and my pH Balance pineapple gummies. And yeah. And some things that I used to do have fallen to the wayside because it's like, oh, well, if I'm taking this, like I really like the Everyday Dose because the creator of Everyday Dose is neurodivergent, has ADHD or ADD, one of the D's, okay? One of the A's and one of the D's. And he didn't want to do SSRIs, which are, over-the-counter prescription medications. And he didn't like what they did to his body. And I didn't either. Like, if there's an all-natural homeopathic option, I will take it because I believe that my body works better that way. I know my body works better with like that. If I take anything over the counter, and I don't even care if it's a freaking Tylenol, I have the worst indigestion, acid reflux. I feel like my stomach is on fire time. So obviously I've spent plenty of time doing all those things. And now, as much as I'd like to say, oh, I just choose to be healthy. No, now there's no other option. I can't take these things, so I have to find but I know enough about homeopathic medicine. I'm not worried about it. I know the painkillers. I can get the painkillers. I wanted to show something that happened because I don't know if you guys. I did my first alteration of my dread. So I had this dread here, right? This dread, look how big it is. Okay, you might not be able to see it very well. This dread, these two dreads here, were, before I showed up to this party today, one dread. It was a huge one dread, but it started separating at the base. So I worked it, and then it still has this little knob thing, but I'm leaving it. And I just cut it and then palm rolled these two back out, And so now one of my massively, ooh, crap, I effed up my head. Like this guy, I have one over here that still is ridiculous, but I'm pretty sure this is just going to stay ridiculous until I shave it maybe, or it might, like, because it's a little loose here. So, you know what I mean? Like the hair will start to do its own thing. But if you notice it separating, then you can, in fact, like this, I just was like pulled from the base up out. And then when I could get to a part where I couldn't rip anymore, I cut. I just off the one side and was like, screw it, two dreads, ta-da, and was super happy about it because these big ones, it's like, I get they're awesome, but like this is how big I wanted it to be in a year or two, not like 2 months in. So it's going to be like this big in 10 years, or, you know what I mean? It's going to be much, much bigger in 10 years. So whatever that looks like. But I'm not going to, if I'm going to shave my head, I'm going to shave my whole head. I'm definitely not, I'm not going to just have like a bald spot unless, see, if I did something like a mohawk, but see, this one's so high up here that it's like, I'd have to do only, and this is an option. This is a possibility. What's going on here? Yeah, see that one got caught in together. Okay. Anyway, so if I do it like here, right, where only I have dreads from here to here, like maybe here to here, and then the rest is shave bald, I would do that too. I might do that. I don't know. I kind of want to get like a Celtic roots style thing eventually. You know what I mean? Maybe. I don't know. I'm just kind of vibing. I really don't know. Like, see, yeah, this is another big one like that. It's like, oh crap, but it's still it's tiny, right? I mean, like where it's connected is tiny, but like it's not that much space. Anyway, so Dread Journey is still going. It's going strong. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to let you guys go because only a few people popped in and off, but I love you. And I hope that you guys have the best rest of your day that you possibly can. I'm going to be relaxing. I think I'm going to do a little reading because I started reading this book about the Great Depression. And that is cool. And I will be sharing also how that kind of internally affects me as I read it because my mom was raised in the Great Depression, through the Great Depression. And I guarantee that had a huge impact on how she came out to be an adult. You know what I mean? And I feel like I might cry a lot while I'm reading this book. Just because things will make sense probably to me that didn't then. So, I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day.